Hello there, and welcome to another live stream here. Fly the noob. Let's see how this one goes. Another 777 here. We're just gonna bang out a few 777 live streams till we get a little bored of it. But it's hard to get bored of the 777 anyway. Yeah, I mean, this will probably be the last 777 live stream before we switch out into something else new, and then we'll revisit the aircraft from time to time, obviously being such a great aircraft that it is. But after this one, we're going to switch it out to something else, probably a little more GA intense stuff. Perhaps even a couple of stunt stuff or something exciting. Who knows? Who knows, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, we're in New York. And just clean my earphones there. Oh, good lord. Well. Okay. Today we got Benny joining us once again, hopefully, and yeah, we'll just jump into the screen here real quick. I have no idea if I'm live on Twitch. So yeah, I'll be checking out Twitch in just a second just to make sure that we're actually live on Twitch, and let's see, everything else is looking good here. We got our flight plan and everything. Looking great, looking great. Just loading up some final details, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me while I do that. Bear with me while I do that. All right, we're not looking too bad here at the moment. It's always good to hear. Always good to hear. My mouse click is pretty audible to you guys, huh? Just realized that. It's just I have a very clicky mouse. I guess it kind of helps a little bit in you know, when I make mouse clicks, you guys will be able to hear that. I kind of think it's cool, so I'm just gonna leave it the way it is for now. I enjoy a clicky mouse sometimes. This is one of those situations in a flight sim where I just enjoy having a clicky mouse for some reason. I don't like the smooth one for some reason. Okay, 1 minute down. I think we're just gonna jump into the screen here probably. I don't think anybody's waiting, eh? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, since nobody's pretty much probably not really waiting here. Ugh, good lord. I don't even know. Okay, let's jump in now. Let's jump into the stream. Okay, hello there, Benny. Can you hear me today?
Yes, I can.
Brilliant.
Is my audio good enough?
Yeah, today you're sounding much better.
All right.
You're sounding much better. And we're in New York, ladies and gentlemen, and it is pouring. It is pouring for some reason. Let's have a look at the live time and live weather here in New York. It is Tuesday, June 17, 2025, 15:23 in New York, with the weather giving us rain and somewhat terrible visibility here, eh? What the heck is going on, man? Oh, good lord, I can't really do this 2024 crap. Oh my god. It's just, it's genuinely terrible. Anyway, whatever. Here we are in New York, where the visibility is absolutely atrocious, but we got some lovely traffic injections. That's nice to see. And how you doing today, Benny?
I'm fine. Just got a little headache going on, but otherwise all good. How about you?
Have a little headache going on. Well, sorry to hear that. I've been having an okay day, I suppose. I cooked myself a very nice pot of fried rice today, so that was nice. But unfortunately, my hunger has caught up with me again, and I need to go and find myself something to eat. Probably order some food while I'm live streaming today. But yeah, here we are checking out our beautiful aircraft. 777. United Airlines livery today. We fly on to Toronto in Canada. Gonna visit the Canadians today. Yeah, I mean, PMDG doesn't have the very best external modeling. So yeah, Anas says hello there, Anas. Thank you once again for tuning into another live stream. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, PMDG really does not have the best textures, but it's United livery does look good, yeah, doesn't it? With the blue engine and everything, doesn't look too bad. Although, yeah, I mean, really up close the textures aren't the best, but from a distance, from a reasonable distance, it's quite good. It's quite good. I'm not gonna complain. It's decent enough, definitely. It's definitely decent. That beautiful cabin. Look at that. Look at them raindrops right there. Woo! We just zoomed into the cabin. The cabin's looking absolutely stunning, if I'm being honest. Cabin's looking really good. Yeah, the textures aren't too terrible. It's looking lovely. Looking lovely. Oh, is that me? Is that me right there? Yes, it is. Look at me. Look at me. Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Connecting people, uniting the world. Oh. Why, thank you, United. Okay. So, without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into our cockpit and see what we got going for the day, right? Let's do that. Here we are in the cockpit. Got our APU running. Although our APU is running, nothing else is really set up here. So let's turn on our ADI-RU. Nav lights are on, that's great. Logo lights, I'm going to leave them on today for some reason. Yeah, I'm just going to... You know what, we'll do that a little bit later. Signs to on, please. Emergency lights armed. Got nothing else to do here for the time being. APU is running. So left forward pump is running. That's fine. That's fine. That is fine. APU running. We need to set up our flight plan here. So let's do that. Importing data from SimBrief. Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That is fine. We're not using a departure procedure per se today. A direct departure. We're gonna arrive into Toronto. There we go. That's not too terrible. Doesn't look so bad, does it? Okay. So Benny, hit us with some information. Why don't we go into a little bit of trivia about the 777 as I set up the FMC here.
Sure. Let me grab it up right now.
Sure. Setting up the IRS there, reference airport KJFK. Today's route, KJFK. Today's destination, C-Y-Y-Z. Oh, good lord. Good lord. What have we here? Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna put that in. Let's request a route from SimBrief right there. Let's set the payload. Let's set the fuel. Select the route, please. A route requesting. Tell us. What do we have? Oh, Benny's still with us.
Oh, you were asking me?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. All right, I got the facts in front of me. So, the first one, the Boeing 777, is the first commercial aircraft that is designed entirely by computer.
The first commercial airline that's designed entirely on a computer.
Yes, and it was designed entirely using computer-aided design software, CAD software. And this approach allowed for unprecedented precision and efficiency in its development.
Of course, of course. One would think that Airbus would beat Boeing to doing that, but interesting.
Yeah, I mean, probably. But anyways, the second one, it's the largest twin jet.
It's the largest what?
Twin jet.
Largest twin
Like
jet.
twins.
Yes, yeah.
So the 777 is the world's largest twin jet. The 777-300ER variant, which I believe is the one we're flying right now.
Correct.
That's the one in particular, which measures an impressive 242 feet and 4 inches in length.
242 feet and 4 inches in length. Your audio sounds a little bit shady, but you know, it's
Is
cool.
it better than yesterday, though?
Slightly better than yesterday, yeah. Now I don't know. It starts off fine, and then I guess try and change your quality setting if you're watching the stream at the same time.
Yeah, let me.
That seemed to have fixed the problem yesterday. Okay, so we got all of that directly ready there. Let's go to our center of gravity. Come on now. What is going on here? That isn't right. 15, please. There we go. Now it's right. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Perfect. We're looking good. We are looking good. Approach. We're landing with that, ladies and gentlemen. Just like that, we've got our flight computers set up and a little bit of a frame rate issue there. I hope everything is going well here. I can't really tell. Okay. Let's set the local pressure for the barometer. Great. Let us go ahead and turn on our flight directives on. It was 160 something. I don't remember. 151. Okay, I'm just gonna go 185 as usual nonetheless. Oh god, the other way. Clearly my brain isn't working today, as you guys can probably tell. Today's heading selection, let's set that to runway heading roughly. Not trying to be accurate here, if I'm being honest. Not trying to be accurate here. Cruising altitude for today is going to be 36,000 feet. Am I right about that? What the hell? It says 18,000 feet on SimBrief here. 18,000 feet? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, cruise altitude 36,000 feet. Okay, we're just gonna go 36 anyway. We're gonna go 36. Let's see if we can make it. If we can't make it, then we can think about it. All right, that sounds good. LNAV, VNAV in there. Perfect. Okay, we're pretty much looking great here. Just like that, we're ready and set up. So let's go to GSX. Reload sim brief, please. Thank you. Oh, for the love of God, GSX Pro just keeps sending out updates like it's chips. Like every other day, you gotta update this goddamn thing. GSX Pro updated now. God damn it! Shut the hell up! I ain't updating this thing. Okay, let me request boarding. See what happens outside, shall we? Just tell me, although the doors seem to be closing rather than opening. There's something. Okay, let's go to more trivia about the 777.
All right. So it's also the first fly-by-wire system. The 777 was the first aircraft to incorporate a fully digital fly-by-wire control system.
Once again, you would think Airbus would beat Boeing to that.
Yeah, probably.
But it's not too bad. All right, what else? What other innovations are credited to 777?
Well, that's pretty much it about the specs. And then it just has... Oh, it's also... No, actually, one more. It's also the longest range for a commercial airliner. The 777-200LR.
That's right. Yeah, I was just about to say, it's not the ER version that we're flying here, it's the LR.
Oh.
The LR is
Right.
extremely fascinating. But it's only
range is
available...
over...
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, its range is over 15,000 kilometers, which is 9,320 miles.
Damn. That is an
Yeah.
impressive range, to be honest with you.
That is really impressive.
That is a very impressive range there. Okay. We're just waiting for the boarding process here, pretty much. Okay. I hope you can hear me well, Mr. Well, to everybody watching right now, actually. Okay, so we got nobody else at the moment watching with us in the stream. It's pretty much just us hanging out and probably Anas there in the chat.
There were a couple of people in the beginning when you started.
Ah, they've decided that this guy is annoying. Let's bugger off.
Well, I believe they're just waiting for the takeoff or something interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so we got our cargo loading up, which is fantastic.
All right.
And I believe the passenger bus is on the way, at least. Is it here already? Or oh, there it is. There's a passenger bus, and we got our stairs. And our passengers are loading up. United looking good here today. Looking very, very wonderful. In my opinion, the 777 is the best looking airliner ever. It is the most beautiful aircraft, one of the most easiest to fly, and absolutely comfortable for everybody involved. I believe it's my favorite aircraft of all time. Just an absolute beauty in real life and in the simulator. Now, I'm lucky to have that. Both my aircraft being the same. Oh, look at that. In the rain? Come on. We need to give them a little bit of a cover there. They're getting soaked in the rain here. JFK International Airport, a shuttle there. Well, anyway, I'm the one who decided to park this out here in the ramp instead of a gate. So, I guess that's on me.
I do have a few facts about United Airlines.
Please, go ahead. Let's hear it.
And this is the most impressive one to me, personally. So, United and Boeing are actually one family. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
So, United Airlines came out of Boeing.
What?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
They are a partnership which is over 90 years old.
Okay.
And in 1933, U.S. passengers flew on the fastest flight across the country using United Airlines.
Which is the fastest flight?
I do not have that with me right now, but I shall check it out. I believe it's actually Newark to San Francisco, yeah.
Yeah, but how is it the fastest?
It was the first time, because it was the first time ever without changing a flight or an overnight stop.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The first female flight attendant was a United Airlines employee.
Okay, but I think female flight attendants were far more common than male ones right from the start. So I don't think that's saying much. Is it?
No, actually, no. That's
It's
not.
not?
That's not true. It was a male-dominated industry until the year 1930 when United began hiring female flight attendants.
Oh, good lord! There you go. I did not know that. There's something that I did not know. So it was male-dominated in the beginning.
Yeah.
And now it's almost entirely female-dominated, mostly. I mean, I don't come across a lot of male flight attendants on many of my flights that I've taken. It's usually nearly sometimes all female crew as well.
Yeah.
Quite common these days. So I thought that's how it started out. I did not know. Well, interesting. Interesting. But this plane.
Another interesting fact is United Airlines were the first one to come up with the commercial flight kitchen. That means they were the first one to serve meals.
God dang, United. First commercial flight kitchen, you say?
Yeah.
So like what?
First one to serve meals.
They had their own catering service that they first started, or are you talking about?
No. They were the first one to serve meals on a commercial flight ever.
Oh, okay. So the meal service.
Like a hot meal.
Like a hot meal. Wow. Okay, fine. When was that? Do you have any idea?
Otherwise, it would just be like, that was in the mid-30s.
Oh,
and, the first meals that were actually served were a choice of fried chicken or scrambled eggs.
That sounds fantastic to me. Sounds good. Better than many of the options available on today's flights.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the stream smooth as I go in and out of the aircraft? Could you have a look at that? And,
yeah, pretty much smooth, yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic then. All right. So our passengers have finished up boarding here, and cargo is also finishing up right away, as you can tell.
Oh, we just got another subscriber. 442 now.
Really? Hello, mate. Thank you very much for the subscription. I didn't get any notifications. The alerts are on, but probably because your subscriptions are on private. But nonetheless, thank you so much for subscribing, and shout out to you, whoever you are. Thank you very much, and I most definitely appreciate that. All right. That's good. Let's go to have a look at the checklist here. I completely forgot that we had a checklist available to us. Got to test the oxygen, test up the parking brakes and stuff. So let's set the parking brake there. Flight instrument control, and the flight instruments are done, right? We got everything we need. Oxygen, I know it's good. There you go. We're only going to test the captain's oxygen today. No, I'm kidding. Just going to check that we got oxygen on all three of them. There you go. Brilliant. That's done. Okay, MCP is set. Takeoff speeds are done. That is done. That is done. That is done. We just need to set up our doors and stuff. So we're going to go to GSX and request prepare for pushback and departure there. We need to come up here and set a few things up. But yeah, it's not too terrible. Not too terrible. Cargo loading finishing up right there. No more pellets left. That is fantastic news. Passenger loading pretty much complete there. Nothing left to do there. And there we go. We got the marshals out here in the cold and the wet weather. I'm really glad that finally we got these water puddles in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I believe we don't have puddles in 2020, do we? Or did they add that?
I think they did.
They did? Oh, okay. I have no idea, but
I'm not so sure about that. I'll check that out.
yeah, but the puddles in 2024 definitely look good, and that's one thing that X-Plane, the puddles in X-Plane also look really, really good. X-Plane 12. But anyway, our lovely, lovely aircraft here. Gotta say, it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? It looks gorgeous. Anyway. Go ahead, your trivias are getting
MSFS 2020 does not have water puddles, but it does have mist.
It does
and
have
ponds.
It does have what?
Mist, like water mist.
Water mist. Water mist. Water mist. Okay. Did we get the prompt telling us? Wait, why aren't the? Whatever. Why aren't these going away? Do we have to make them go away ourselves now? Ground operations, remove the chokes, please. Come on. Oh, for the love of God. All right. Door management, close all, please. Thank you very much. And I shall get rid of release everything. There we go, releasing all the... Oh my God, what the hell? You know what it is, man? This is what happens. This is what happens. Come on. Get rid of these things, man. God damn it. GSX. What? Okay, finally they're going away. They're going away. They're going away. Great. Great. Weight and balance. What is, oh, we got the weight and balance thing here. That's great.
Can you update?
I think it might be an update, or it might have been there. I just missed it last time, probably. But yeah. Okay, fantastic. Stick that up.
I've got a few more facts to go for United Airlines.
Right before we get into those facts, let's get our pushback going and the engine start going, and then we can get into those facts. How does that sound?
Sure.
Okay, great. Okay, waiting here. I'm waiting here. Oh, good Lord, man. Oh, good Lord. What do you want, GSX, now? I said no. Come on. Ugh. Okay, fine. Yes. I want to interrupt the pushback. What else do I tell them? Loading menu. Waiting for cargo action. Oh, for the love of God. For the love of God. Come on. United Airlines. So our cargo doors are open apparently. And I don't know why. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But there you go. The cargo doors are closing now. Oh, good Lord. This thing is annoying as hell. This thing is annoying as hell. So something needs to be worked out there. Sometimes GSX works properly. Sometimes it just doesn't. Okay, so we got the marshals going out again, and we've got our pushback reconnecting. So we'll wait for that to happen. Parking brakes set. Hydraulic electric and all that stuff, not done. For the time being, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, are you gonna connect this today or... Okay, fine. Alright, let's actually go into the facts because they're taking their sweet time. Let's go ahead.
Alright. So, United Airlines was also the first one to set up a flight laboratory to improve flight experience. So they were the first ones to have flight scientists on board.
I have no idea what that means, man.
Me neither. But they would suggest improvements in in-flight technology and services. The researchers developed a precursor to flight data recorder. It was the flight analyzer. And they also made wing and propeller de-icers. It became the first airline to use computers to plan the path for a flight. So they did quite a number of things.
Okay, how old is United? Okay, good lord, I don't know
It's
what
90
the hell
years
is
old.
going on, man. I don't know what the hell is wrong today. Why isn't it working? Why can't it just push us back? What is it doing now? I don't know what the hell it's doing. Good lord, every day something has to go wrong. No matter, even if you do this thing 10,000 times, in the same order you do it in, it still has to go wrong. No, don't interrupt pushback, but give me the goddamn pushback. Oh, good lord. I don't know, man. I'm freaking lost.
Maybe try changing direction.
How can I change direction? It hasn't even given me the menu to do that yet.
No, if you go to GSX, it says change direction, right?
Alright. Ugh, good lord, this thing is annoying me now. It's just so irritating. Like, GSX doesn't work properly with this aircraft. Change direction, okay, and the menu disappears now. Loading menu. Now it says loading menu and we're stuck again. Oh, good lord.
Maybe you just restart GSX.
Our APU has been sitting there running for so long at this point to restart. Restarting GSX, for the love of God, look at this thing. It's just annoying as hell now. GSX is beginning to annoy the crap out of me. Prepare for pushback and departure. Okay, what the hell is GSX choice? This one, okay, fine. Do it. Okay, how about that? Maybe that'll solve the issue. And I've got that glitch back again, the one I was talking about, the one where I can't use the mouse to change the external views. I've got that back again as well. Good lord. Oh, MSFS for you, man. Nothing really works. This entire thing is such a... It's not good. It's just... And the worst part is you can't just... Okay, fine. You can't just set it up and forget about it. No. Every time there's a goddamn issue. Problem is there's like 1,000 developers involved and all of them are just rolling out useless updates left, right and center. And it fixes one bug and then it messes up something else, you know, and then you gotta wait for the next update where something else falls out of line. It's so annoying. It's irritating as hell. It's just irritating. Very irritating. And 2024 with their beta builds and their whatever, just release the goddamn thing when it's ready. It's so annoying. Everything has just gotten really annoying with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and 2020, but at least 2020 has kind of matured, I would say. I like how every one of these sessions turns into...
Tug is attached now.
At least the tug is attached now, but then what? We got the tug attached before as well, but problem is nothing happens after that. A menu is supposed to pop up asking us which direction they should go in. And that doesn't happen. Like, what is going on right now?
Maybe you could do the pushback from the tablets instead if it doesn't work.
It's working now. It's working.
All right.
Our nose is being raised, finally.
Yes.
There we go. Nose to the right. Thank you so much. Now we can go in and release our parking brake there. There we go. Engines clear, started wheel, beacon lights on please, and that checklist is completed there. Okay, let's go ahead and start up our engines, ladies and gentlemen. To do that, APU bleed is already on, so we can go ahead and do that. Let's go to engine and our ECAM, lower ECAM. Is this called the ECAM here? I have no idea. Okay, there we go. Let's flick that open. Engine number 1 starting up. Looking good and starting up there. Yes, go ahead with it. Okay, we'll wait for the engine sounds and then. That's it. Let's head back in here. And we need to turn on our fuel pumps there. Keep forgetting about that. Start engine number 2. Pushback is still kind of going on, so we're going to wait for that. And there it is. Set parking brakes. Can probably turn these on. Automatic. Automatic there. Flick that open. Okay, we can drop our flaps for takeoff once our engines have started up, can't we? There we go. Beautiful scene there as the engine starts up. Let's go out here in front. Looking good. Can drop the flaps momentarily. Let's just say bye to Madam over here. Goodbye, bye-bye. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. See ya. Oh, look at that. This is not an effect that's there for every aircraft. You see how the actual wiper removes the water drops? I don't know if you can see that. Benny, you there?
I believe I can.
Yeah, you see. So you see how the water drops are being removed there? Look at that.
Yeah.
So that's something that's pretty cool. It's only available here. It's not there for every aircraft, so 777 has it. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's drop our flaps and we'll go flaps 15. That's 15. Let's go. Let's take a look at that happening. Look at that wing view right there. Goodness, it's gorgeous. It is beautiful. This is a proper airline right there. Okay. Fantastic. Let's look out the other side of the cabin. Oh my goodness. The stutters on that was not a joke right there, but here we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Not too bad, not too shabby. Okay. Anything else we need to do here before taxi? Let's go back to our checklist here. Before taxi, anti-ice, we don't need to worry about that. That's done. Auto brake RTO is done. Flight controls. Let's check our flight controls here. Okay, checking flight controls. Okay, elevators are looking good. Okay, ailerons are looking good. Okay, now we need to check our rudders. Rudder looking good. That is done. It is done, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Look at that. We're all good here. Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. All right, let's come back to our checklist. That's done. Ground equipment is clear. And now we've got before takeoff flaps 15. Got after takeoff a checklist now. So that means we're pretty much ready there for takeoff. Okay. Anything else we'd like to look at, Mr. Benny, before we get rolling here?
I guess that's pretty much it. Well, we're taxiing though. I'll just go on about with the last few remaining facts.
Okay, parking brakes released. Very good. Parking brakes released. All right, go ahead. Hit us with some facts.
Sure. So coming back to the fact about the first flight scientists on board, the lab was so sophisticated that it actually led the researchers to develop the first instrument landing system and weather radar.
Okay.
So the first ILS and the weather radar.
That's great.
Then United was also the first airline to introduce flight simulators to train pilots in 1954.
Damn, United's got a lot under its belt, huh?
Yes, it does. The company would use visual, sound, and movement for the first time in commercial flight history to train the pilots.
Oh, I believe I'm lost now. Yeah, I'm lost here. I'm gonna try and turn around here, which I probably shouldn't do, but I'm gonna try and turn around here. I love the effect of the water. Look at that. Look at that, would you? I'm gonna try and turn around here a little bit, because I believe I'm a little lost on the taxiway here. I shouldn't have done that, but anyway. Okay, which way are we to go? Which way are we to go? I can't see. Good lord, where am I supposed to go?
Map.
Yeah, I am using a little nav map and I still can't see. Okay, we're supposed to go to our left, so let's just use that. Let's just use that here. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. A click, click, click. Okay. Yeah, carry on with the facts, please.
Sure. So the company purchased 4 pieces of the flight simulators at a cost of $3 million at that time, which is quite a huge amount considering inflation.
Yeah, it is. It is quite a large amount of money right there.
Yeah. And then, as we all know, United has one of the largest air travel route network in the world. It serves hundreds of 238 domestic destinations and about 120 international destinations, which includes 358 airports in total.
Is it 368?
58.
I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to be turning around here, but I don't think we have a choice, so I'm just gonna turn here. Yeah, we're not supposed to be turning. We should have turned earlier, but here we go.
So, yeah, 358 airports and 4,900 daily departures.
That's United.
Yes.
All right, that sounds cool. 4,000 daily
it's
departures.
Also the first airline. It's also the first. No, actually 4,900, so nearly 5,000.
Ah.
And it's also the first airline to fly to all states of the USA
First
which
airline to
came
fly
in a
to.
result of and it also resulted in multiple new flight routes, including Wyoming and Mississippi flights, which weren't common back in the day.
Oh, I see. Okay. I guess we could sit here talking about United all day long. There's too many facts, so...
Yeah.
All right. We've taken a look at some of the facts about the Boeing 777 and United.
We're still not done with the United facts, though.
No, there's way too many. We're gonna be here all day. Forget about that.
There's about 3 more.
Nah.
Oh, actually, 2 interesting ones. One I would insist on mentioning at least.
All right, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so the world's largest global alliance, airline alliance, is the Star Alliance, right?
I don't know. Why do I keep getting lost today? Oh my god, this is just confusing the crap out of me. Oh, Lord, we've lost that again. You know what? I'm gonna make a cut here. I don't have the freaking patience to go around. Yeah, we're gonna make a cut here, ladies and gentlemen. Not very professional, but couldn't give a toss right now. So I'm gonna have to make a cut here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a cut here. We're crossing an active runway. We're probably crossing an active runway as well. Okay, but anyway, I can't see in this atrocious weather. Not too bad though, not too bad. We're not too far off. It's just right here. Okay, cool. Yeah, what is I think that's enough facts about United, because there's way too many facts. I don't even know what you were saying last.
I was talking about the Star Alliance, which is the largest global airline alliance.
Yeah.
And United Airlines is the founding member of the Star Alliance.
Alright. Man, that's boring.
Not really.
I mean,
they also have the largest and most rewarding flyers program.
Okay. Cool. I don't know. These facts are not cool to me, man. They sound boring. They sound really freaking boring.
Maybe. Are you an environment conscious aviator?
For the love of God, bro, that's enough of your facts. Let's move on to something else, shall we?
All right.
Let's move on to something else. I'm a flight simmer. I don't really give a damn how anything else works, really. Okay, let's see. I mean, I probably should, but here it is what it is, man. Some of these facts I couldn't give a toss about. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. All right. Okay, we're looking good there. Look at that. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, let's get ourselves out of here. We've been on the ground for too freaking long now. It's beginning to irritate me. So landing lights on, taxi lights. We didn't turn them on before, but here they are. We can turn them off actually. Strobe lights on, passenger signs are on. Everything else is looking pretty much good here. We have after takeoff. I hope the cabin's ready. I didn't get the chime, but I'm gonna assume that it's ready. Don't really give a damn. Well, if somebody bumps their head, don't tell me, sir. I'm just a pilot. Let's go. All right. Okay, we're getting ready for the takeoff here. So we shall discuss about, what did we say we're going to discuss about on
We're
route
going to talk about Silver Airways next, which shut down abruptly 3 days ago.
Silver Airways shutting down, yep. There we go, that's good stuff to talk about for a bit. Okay. Let's turn this big bird around, so. Come on, turn around, you big bird. There you go. Turn around, you big bird. There we go. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Okay. So, are we ready for takeoff is the question. That is the question, Benny. Okay, I think we're ready for takeoff. There we go. Let's go.
All right.
Veering off to the side there.
V1.
What? We're off the ground before what? What on earth just happened there? We are off the ground just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I know what happened. I know what happened. It's that same thing where I took off without the... Remember we restarted GSX?
Yeah.
That was enough.
What
So
do you
when we restart GSX, what tends to happen is I'm gonna give it off to the autopilot here. When we restart GSX, you remember the payload we set?
Yeah.
The payload and the passenger stuff we set, it disappears.
Oh.
It freaking disappears. So that just sucks.
Traffic.
I don't know what to tell you about that. That just sucks. So we need to go back there.
Traffic.
I don't care about the traffic, mate. The traffic is so pseudo anyway. So that is what happened there. Oh, index, identity, route here, route 2, route 1, legs. Okay, so we gotta go to menu now. FS actions, payload. Look at that. This is not right. This doesn't seem right, but I hope. Fuel density level 36,000 pounds. Oh, well, actually, it seems about right though. So I don't understand why the hell did it take off so quickly. I have no idea. Oh, would you look at that? What is going on today, huh? Just like that, we've climbed out of... Whoa! God dang! That is looking good. That's looking so good. Wow, coming up on 8,900 feet here. Okay, all of that is looking good. Flaps are up. That's done. Let's descent checklist. Let's go to engines. 9,900 feet right there. Let's turn off our landing lights. Turn off... Well, there's nothing else to turn off, really. Yeah, beacon lights can remain off now. Passenger signs can go to automatic. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. Why is our APU still running? Good Lord, I forgot to turn off our APU. Got to turn off our APU because it was an APU, so we took off with our APU running. Great. But it's not too terrible. It does happen sometimes anyway. So there we go. Up and out. That is lovely. That is pretty cool. Are we gonna make 36,000 feet today is a question. I think we are. I think we just might, right? I think we just might. Let's increase the range on that. Let's increase the range on that. Top of climb is there. Top of descent is all the way there. That's more than 160 nautical miles away. Okay, 18,000 feet. We need to put our transition altitude up. Apart from that, look at how beautiful we're looking. That is such a good image right there. Crystal crisp. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's check the other side. Let's talk about Silver. What has happened to Silver Airways? So you said it folded up 3 days ago, is that right?
Yes, June 11th. Well, no, that's a week ago now. Sorry. Yeah, technically a week ago.
Technically a week ago. Okay. So what happened to it?
So I got a few quick pointers about that. There's something known as Chapter 11 bankruptcy. which was filed in December 2024, which I
Right.
believe is a USA, according to the Constitution, it's a form of bankruptcy. And they had intentions to continue operations, and that's what led to the bankruptcy auction. But no buyer committed to keeping there was no buyer committed to keeping the airline active, and only assets were sold. So, due to that, the airline couldn't go on, as assets were opted to not continue flight operations in Florida, the Bahamas, or the Caribbean. The
So
airline
that's what
then
happened.
they instructed passengers to avoid going to the airport, as all future flights were cancelled, and refunds must be sought via credit cards or travel agencies. That was pretty abrupt and honestly kind of sad how it went down.
What's so sad about it?
Because many passengers were left stranded across Florida, Bahamas, and the Caribbean without any notice.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
the
true.
travelers are actually, and they're the ones who are now responsible for rebooking and seeking refunds. So that kind of sucks.
That is very true. A lot of the Caribbean destinations are actually served by Silver, and I flew Silver Airways ATR on my channel as well, so that is interesting. Well, I flew it on a landing thing. I didn't really fly a flight, but that's interesting there. Yeah, a lot of the Caribbean destinations are served by Silver Airways, operating out of Orlando, if I'm not completely mistaken.
Yes, they are. And the employees as well. They were first downsized from 608 to 348 before shutdown, as most roles were eliminated. But a few, quite a significant amount of them, have only received 45% of their final paychecks, with the remainder subject to court approval. So it's kind of sad how they're being treated as well. I mean, you can't really do much if you run out of money.
I mean, the airline's out of money. The airline's out of money. There isn't much else we can do.
Yeah.
I just remember, for some reason, one of our pumps were also left off. So, I don't know. You know what the problem is? I'm not used to starting up with the APU running. I'm only used to starting up from cold and dark. So a lot of the things are out of order, and that's why I've been having a little bit of issues here today. But I think we're all okay at the moment. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much all okay at the moment. Everything is going well, and we're well on our way towards Toronto. This thing is
at
annoying.
the time of Silver Airways collapse, though, they only had 8 ATRs in operation, available. Since they had to sell the rest of them.
I wonder why it went under. I mean, airline business notoriously is just terrible. As it is, the profit margins are thin, the capital is massive. One little mistake can cost the entire airline. Even if it's a very, very well-established airline, you think it's never going to sink. Next day, it's gone. That's the airline industry for you. That's the airline, and this is my area of expertise, by the way. The operational side of things, the corporate side of airline business, but it's just terrible. So I basically, after my university education, I came to the conclusion that the airline business, from a business point of view, is just terrible. That is what I paid all that money for that degree, just to realize that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, before here's the funny thing. Before I did my aviation-oriented degrees, I've always wanted an airline of my own, right? Because I'm such an aviation guy and this and that. After finishing my degrees, I've realized that is about the dumbest thing I could do.
Probably.
It's probably. I mean, it's better you just buy an aircraft and park it in your garage than start an airline. It's not good. It really isn't. So
I mean, it's been my dream too.
I mean, I would advise strictly against it, because Just doesn't work. Just buy yourself a
So
little.
hopefully, if I have enough money, I won't do it like with the intention of making it a business. Obviously, it'll be a business anyways, but it'll just be for leisure. Like I'll enjoy it. I'll play around with the airline and
Well,
see
that's
what
the
I
thing.
can do, how much it grow.
Do you know how much it costs to keep that thing going, and how you won't be able to utilize it anyway? It's like
Yeah, it's only subject to if I have that much money. Like I need to be a billionaire for that to work out.
no,
so
even
it's probably
if
never
you're a
gonna happen.
billionaire, you can't keep an airline, a major airline, running for no reason. And if it's not making money, it's not making money. That's the end of that.
Yeah,
You know, it costs so much money to keep like an airline like United, or let's say like Emirates or something like that running. It's too much money, man.
yeah.
Way too much money. And the worst.
Anyways,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, go on. Go on.
No, I was saying, if you're a rich billionaire, you might as well just buy yourself a couple of private jets or a few propeller aircraft and enjoy yourself, or maybe even a private 777. I mean, if you're that rich, you can just get your hands on a
Yeah.
private 777. That's much better than owning an airline, you know? Anyway, what were you about to say?
How do you feel about chartered airlines though?
I like that. I think that chartering aircraft is a better option to owning like a private jet, isn't it? I mean, you don't have to worry about it. But at the same time,
Yeah.
if you're an aviation enthusiast and a pilot, it's nice to have your own aircraft. You can fly around, I guess.
No, I meant as in you renting out chartered aircraft, like you owning the airline itself.
Yeah, I mean, even if you were to charter, the problem is either with airlines, when the routes start doing well, people get greedy too quick and they overexpand and boom, there it goes.
Yeah, I get that.
So I
But since
don't
it's chartered, there's nothing to expand on, you know? Like wherever you want to fly, go ahead. You have it for this
mean,
much time.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could. I mean, that would
It's
be
probably
a
a safer
terrible.
way to go about it.
Yeah, it is probably a safer way. I mean, if you're a billionaire who owns a couple of jets and you're not flying them all the time, particularly if you're not flying one of them all the time, you probably like start a little side charter with that airline to help just make some money on the side and help the aircraft kind of pay for itself in a way, I guess. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't really. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's also very political as well. You know, the airlines is
Yeah,
such a
definitely.
political thing. It's just too political. I don't think it's worth it. I really don't think it's worth all of that pain. But yeah, you know,
Alright.
people keep attempting it nonetheless. Anyway.
So we do
Anyway,
have 7 people watching right now.
oh, hello
and
to those
feel
7
free
people.
to chat in, chime in, have a small talk, small
Sure.
conversation with us.
Sure. That is always welcome. What else do we got? What else are we gonna discuss today, apart from the silver
So
thing?
coming back to Silver Airways, one last thing is that
Yeah.
they had a Puerto Rico-based subsidiary, which was the Seabourn Airlines, which connected again the Caribbean. So the Caribbean doesn't really have many flights to the U.S., but Seabourn, Silver were one of the major ones providing that. Since Silver's closed now, Seabourn still runs normal operations, so that way passengers coming in from the Caribbean can be pretty satisfied with that.
Okay. We got contrails. Yeah, we do. Oh, this thing of the me not being able to control the view from with the mouse. It's really annoying. It is annoying, but anyway. Okay, let's move on to what else do we have scheduled to be discussed today?
There's nothing much scheduled, but let me find something.
Let's check out aviation news, see if there's anything interesting going on.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
I mean, has there been any update on the Air India
Yeah,
crash?
the Air India. Yeah, that's exactly what I have open in front of me.
All right, great.
So the DGCA, it didn't find any major safety issues or security lapses in Air India's Boeing 787.
Okay.
So that's an update which came just about 4 hours ago.
I mean, at this point, I don't really trust Boeing. Boeing is. I know that's not I know it's not Boeing that conducted the searches or anything, but Boeing at this point has lost a lot of its credibility. I mean, they've been resorting to too many shady, underhanded practices at this point.
Yeah. DGCA is India's aviation authority.
Yeah, the
and they
Director
released
General.
a statement a while ago.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's the Directorate General of Civil Aviation or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so that means that it must be something else that caused that crash, something catastrophic. I mean, everyone's leaning towards dual engine failure at this point. It's pretty much looking like it, but what might have caused that is a question now. They might look at fuel contamination, but that's something that can be double checked by looking at the fuel supplies that was used. And I don't think we're going to find anything in that regard. Probably not. So,
Yeah, probably not.
I don't understand why is one side showing a lot of wing flex, the other side is not showing much in the way of wing flex. That's interesting. Whatever, I hope that's accurate. Okay, top of descent.
That's a phenomenon.
Sorry?
It does happen. It's pretty common. I think it does happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but yeah, because especially because our wind is a 58 knot, near headwind of 58 knots. Good lord. Okay, it's not too bad, but it could go up to 100, but 56, 60 knot of headwind. That is not good while we're en route. So yeah, it could be, and it's also from the one side, so that could explain the. Yeah, that could easily explain the wing flex on one side here, because the wind is coming in from this side, so that could explain the wing flex, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's the only thing that can explain the wing flex. It's just air, so yeah, there you go. That kind of makes sense. I like that. That's simulated really well. I mean, obviously you'd expect that in a flight simulator, but it's nice to see that such little things that we often don't pay too much attention to. So let's look at that. 279 degrees, slightly from our left, we got a 57 knot wind, and we can see that if we compare the wing flex on the right wing versus the left wing, we can see that little extra bend. Not even that little, it's quite pronounced if you ask me. Look at that, as compared to that. So there you go. It's that's nice to see, isn't it? It's pretty cool to see. Look at that. Now we can. It's more obvious right now. So look at that. Very nice.
Oh, also, the Paris Air Show is going on right now.
The Paris Air Show is going on, did you say? The Paris Air Show has quite a tragic history, because quite a number of interesting high-profile crashes and tragic events have occurred. Unfortunately, as regretful as that is. So yeah, we've had... Paris Air Show has had quite a few of those. If you could pull up a few of those, we could quickly sift through them.
Let me pull that up.
As a matter of fact, I can tell you the first one to pull up. It's the Tupolev Tu-144, the Russian supersonic
Yes,
passenger.
I have it in front of me.
That is one of the more famous crashes that occurred at the Paris Air Show. I forget which year.
It was 1973 at the
That's
Paris
right.
Air Show.
That's right, 1973 Paris Air Show. We had quite a catastrophic. I remember that one almost exactly the way it is. So there were quite a number of theories going on, but basically the Soviet pilot was determined to outperform the Concorde, which had just flown before it, and they performed some pretty extreme maneuvers. That combined with the fact that there were allegations that a French aircraft, I believe it was a Mirage if I'm not completely mistaken.
Yeah, it was a Mirage.
Yeah, there you go. Was trying to photograph it, and that caused the pilot of the Tu-144 to, mess up and crash. And that's, they say that the authorities colluded to cover that up, and a bit of allegations there, but something like that. So the exact cause is kind of disputed there, but it's mostly effectively down to the fact that the pilot pulled up too hard, tried to do a maneuver that was a little too extreme for the Tu-144, and that caused a stall. And as you know, these supersonic jetliners with their delta wings have real difficulties as it is flying in low speed. So if you put one of those things into a stall, that is especially at like low altitude, which obviously it was at because of the air show. It was flying low to for the display.
Yeah.
And if you put yourself in a stall in those altitudes, there's very little you can do to recover. Very, very little you can do to recover with an aircraft with a delta wing. That too, it's not even a fighter or anything. It's a supersonic airliner. So.
Yeah.
No chance of that. That's pretty much what happened there, if I'm not mistaken, Benny, if you could confirm what I just said.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was, but there were quite a number of things that didn't go right before it happened.
Yeah.
That was because there was sloppy air traffic control, which disoriented pilots in the cockpit with notably poor sight lines. And this wasn't just in the case of the Tupolev, it was all across the board. Pilots felt that. And the flight crew of the Tupolev had prepared a choreographed flight demonstration routine that had been practiced at least 6 times before leaving the Soviet Union, but it had to be discarded because of the scheduling changes. So they weren't able to practice the new routine.
That's right, there you go, the last minute change. There you go.
Did it, yeah, it was a last minute change due to the shortening of the Tupolev's display. And another thing, the initial approach was attempted to be landing on the wrong runway. And this has been attributed to the sloppy air traffic control. So there's quite a number of things that went wrong that day.
Yeah, that is you're absolutely right, but I don't know if you're aware of something called I believe it's called the Swiss cheese model of accidents when it comes to airline. When it comes to...
I believe I've read about it, but I don't know it in depth.
Yeah, so there's always a chain of events rather than a single thing causing a crash. A lot of things have to go wrong at the same time. There's always a chain of events, a sequence. At any one point, had things been different, the accident would have probably not happened. So that's what that model tells us. It's not that complicated. I don't even know why they gave it. It's not that complicated. Just basically, the idea is that all the holes in like have to line up for there to be an accident. Everything has to line up for there to be an accident. And at any of those layers, if there's like appropriate preventative measure or something of the sort, then the accident will not happen. That is basically what the model's trying to tell us. But yeah, so go ahead.
Sorry. So an important contributing factor could also be that the control surface's deflections had been de-restricted before the flight to allow for a more impressive demonstration.
There you go.
And that probably gave way for a bug of the electronic flight controls, and which led to the deflection of the elevons 10 degrees down after the retraction of the canards, which probably caused the sudden dive. And then one more thing which is really interesting is the London Daily Telegraph published a report stating that a wrench fell into the recess around the control stick, jamming the aircraft flight control system. I don't know what the wrench was doing there in the first place, but yeah, that is interesting. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, what do you think? Why would a wrench be there in the first place?
I mean, look, we are talking about the 1970s, first of all, when even the more advanced aviation authorities from the West had quite appalling safety laws, and at that time it was still a budding industry and all that stuff, and deregulation hasn't even come around yet, and a lot of things. It was a different environment at that time, right? That's number one. So I wouldn't be too surprised that a Soviet carrier, which was a little behind in terms of how it caught up with aviation regulations, could have possibly had a wrench in the cockpit. I mean, I don't know, maybe there could have been an engineer. Those things like the Concorde and the Tupolev, they were extremely complicated machines to fly, and I'm pretty sure they had like a 3 or 4 man crew in there, and someone could have had a wrench for some reason or the other, but I'm pretty sure the wrench did not cause the crash. But just saying, so back in the days, I mean, today it seems like, why on earth would you have a wrench in a cockpit? But back in those days it was very, very feasible thing to be, more or less. It's not that shocking, is my point.
Yeah.
It's not that shocking.
Coming to today's Paris Air Show, some news for you. You sort of adore the Sky Courier, don't you?
It's the best. It's one of the best Cessnas that I like. I don't really.
Yeah. And it's actually it's not exactly like it is a Cessna, but it's a partnership between Textron Aviation and Cessna.
I have no idea who Textron Aviation is. I'll be honest with you.
Oh.
Is that a?
They had the first order secured from Africa.
Okay.
So that was a big win for Sky Courier.
Wait, hold on. When was this? Is the Sky Courier a new aircraft?
Not really, but yeah, sort of. It was 12 hours ago when they got their first order from Africa.
Wait. Are you talking about... Okay, there's a little bit of a confusion here. Are you telling me that, it's the first time that they're getting an order from Africa, or you're just telling me that they're getting a first time that they're getting an order?
No, the first time they got it from Africa.
Why on earth is that an extremely fascinating fact? I don't understand.
It wasn't it. It's just because you adore the Sky Courier. That's why I wanted to mention it.
Oh. Well, I don't really care about it that much, mate. I'm just being honest. I mean, I think it's alright. I don't really care about that much, but hey, cool, I guess. I don't know. Sky Courier. Let's go back to... There's some other famous crashes in the Paris Air Show. Could you pull up a couple more of those before we because we're approaching top of descent here, just 40 nautical miles away. About 40, 45, 50 nautical miles away, something like that. So yeah, 50 nautical miles away. So if you could pull up something about another crash.
Let me check it out.
Yeah. Let's check that out. Check it out. Let's go through some of these views here. Just clouds here all the way. I wonder if this is the weather as we come into land into Toronto as well. If it is, then that will make for an exciting landing today. I believe, is this all due to the fact that it's hurricane season? Might just be. Looking good though. I love the sound inside the cabin of the 777 on this view. Oh my god, it is good. It is good, and it's just like the real thing, because I've flown in this view quite a number of times and it's just like the real thing. Alright, so what is the next crash that was at the Paris Air Show that we would like to talk about?
Just hold on.
Alright. Pretty sure there's a number of them, the most famous being the TU-144. I mean, that crash really did it in for TU-144 pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. 40 nautical miles from top of descent.
Alright.
Okay. What do we got?
So, in 1989.
1989.
Yeah, in 1989.
Okay.
So, there was a MiG-29 which crashed. It suffered engine failure due to a bird strike during a low-speed, high angle of attack pass.
Oh, due to a bird strike, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is another crash for the Paris Air Show there.
Then there was, this is not exactly a Paris Air Show crash, but then it was at the Habsheim Air Show. It was an Air France aircraft in 1988. It was a promotional low-altitude flyby. It was an Airbus A320, and it performed a pass too low, struck trees, and crashed into a wooded area.
Yeah, no. That is that. I know the one you're talking about. That's the one where they tried to do the autoland or autopilot. They were trying to do something with the autopilot there. They were trying to demonstrate something with a computer control thing. I believe there's a video available for that one as well, where they tried to do that and the aircraft just landed into trees at the end. I know the one you're talking about. I believe I know the one you're talking about. And it says an Airbus A320, but that wasn't exactly
and then the
air
last
show.
one was, yeah, that wasn't the air show. That was another air show. It was Habsheim Air Show.
Right. Yes.
The last one was actually at the Paris Air Show, 1999. It was a Sukhoi Su-30. It was during a rehearsal on June 12th. The Sukhoi entered a controlled spin. The recovery was delayed, leading to a crash, but both crew ejected safely.
Okay, at least no
There
fatalities.
were a few minor, no fatalities. There were a few minor incidents which are also lesser known that occurred in the 60s and 70s, including crashes involving the Convair B-58, bombers, and helicopters.
Okay, yeah. I wonder which air show has the most number of incidents in the world, because Paris is definitely a contender, I'm pretty sure, because the reason why I know Paris Air Show so well is because of the amount of incidents that have happened there throughout the 90s. No, not the 90s. I mean, throughout the 1900s, my bad. From 1950 onwards, quite a number of incidents happened there, and that's why I know it so well. I mean, I've never been to the Paris Air Show. So, that's interesting. Okay, time to probably set our MCP altitude here. So, let's come here. Because it is time to descend, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to descend 1820. So, let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and set our altitude here. I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to press that here. We need to go down to 1820 apparently. Put that on automatic and that down. There we go. Brilliant. Okay, there is our top of descent pretty much, and we've begun that. Okay, so we've begun our descent into Toronto, ladies and gentlemen. Passenger signs can remain on automatic till 10,000 feet. Everything else is looking pretty much good here. I don't see any problems here. Descent checklist. We need auto brake set to... Should we do auto brakes 3 today? Let's do auto brake 3. Auto brake 3, landing data, VREF and minimums. Do we need to do any minimums and stuff? I don't think so. I don't think so. What is our landing speed? 138 knots. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Altimeters on approach. Okay, we can wait for that. There's still a long way to go for that. Ladies and gentlemen, we've begun our descent. Let's have a quick look on either side of our cabin before we continue discussing a few more things, and then we'll be below 10,000 feet in no time, and we'll get this thing to land, and let's see how this landing goes. Hopefully I'll be able to do a much better job with the landing than I did with the takeoff. I mean, the takeoff wasn't terrible, but still, a few things out of order. That's not good. It's not good. So let's go outside here. There you go. Looking bright and sunny up at this level. Oh, and the clouds have begun to break up a little bit. I don't think it's too cloudy or stormy down there, is it? No, it's not. So it's not looking too bad in Toronto. It seems like the clouds have eased up a little bit there. I don't think it's going to be too bad in Toronto. I don't think we need auto brake 3. So let's just go down to auto brake 2 for the time being. You know what, I'm just gonna leave it on 3. What's a harm? What is the harm? Brilliant. Okay. Any other facts or interesting stuff going on recently in aviation world, Mr. Benny?
Well, you did ask me about the most fatal or the most number of crashes in an air show,
Yes, please tell me.
and I found it.
All right, tell me.
It's the Renault Air Races, officially known as the National Championship Air Races.
Yeah, but those are
They
air
were a
races.
unique, but it's still an air show. It was
It's
an
not an air
aviation
show.
event.
It's not an air show, though. It's a famous air race. I mean, that's yeah. There's quite a number of crashes at the Reno Air Show. It happens, but I mean the air race. Sorry, not an air show. But what about air shows?
Yeah.
'Cause,
For air shows, they're just like they're there, but then there isn't an air show which I can tell you the one which was most fatal. It was
Okay.
the Sky Live in Ukraine 2002.
oh, okay. What happened there?
It was one second. Let me get back into that.
Sure. So you're saying
It was in the Sukhoi. Yeah.
the most fatal air show? Is that what you're saying?
The most fatal incident at an air show.
Oh, okay. So the most fatal incident at a particular air show is what you're saying.
Yes, that's exactly.
Okay, all right. So the most fatal. No, let me get it clear. Let me get it crystal clear, so there's no confusion. You're saying that it's the most fatal incident at any air show, basically.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. You said what was the name of that again? And it was in Ukraine. Say that again.
It was SKNYLIV. Nyliv.
Okay, all right. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
What was the incident?
So it was a Sukhoi Su-27UB aircraft.
Okay.
It crashed into spectators during an aerobatics presentation at
Ooh.
Nyliv Airfield in Ukraine. It killed 77 people and injured 543 people.
Good lord. Yes, that is rough.
So what happened exactly was that it entered a rolling maneuver at 12:52 p.m. with a downward trajectory at low altitude. It rolled upright once more and was still descending rapidly when the left wing dropped shortly before it hit the ground, at which point the crew initiated ejection. The aircraft flattened out initially before skidding over the ground towards the stationary aircraft and striking a glancing blow against the nose of an Ilyushin 276, at which point the jet exploded and cartwheeled into the crowd of spectators.
Oof, that is rough.
Yeah, that is really rough.
Seems these air shows are pretty risky, huh?
Yeah, so once after the disaster, the pilots actually blamed it on the planners that they said the flight map which they had received differed from the actual layout. And on the cockpit voice recorder, one pilot was heard asking, "Where are our spectators?" That they didn't even know they were headed towards them, like straight towards them.
Okay, that is terrible. That is a terrible oversight right there. That is a terrible oversight too for spectators. It's always extra tragic when people on the ground, lose lives because of incidents in the sky. You know, it's there's an extra added element of tragedy to that.
Then on 24th June 2005, a military court sentenced the pilot and the co-pilot to 14 and 8 years in prison, respectively.
Oh, they were sent to prison for it.
Yeah, they found the two pilots and 3 other military officials guilty of failing to follow orders, negligence, and violating flight rules.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, things like this should have been... Was it not a crystal clear day, or did they have an air show and it wasn't exactly crystal clear, you know? Sometimes...
Let me check that out.
I mean, that's okay. Probably And I don't think that's easy information to find anyway.
Yeah, probably not. Let me see if I can.
Okay, we're descending rapidly. Well, not too rapidly, but just about what is expected. And we're looking really good with the VNAV path and our LNAV doing a really good job at the moment. The aircraft seems to be doing a real... No issues right here, ladies and gentlemen. Our computer is doing all the work for us pretty much. Right? Our computer is doing all the work for us pretty much. We are looking good. I would like to I'm also gonna do a live stream probably I don't know, one of these days I want to do a live stream and a video completely hand flying aircraft, so without using any autopilot. I want to get from A to B just completely hand flying. I feel like that's a skill that every pilot should have, and that's something that you should be very, very comfortable with your aircraft. You should be able to manipulate your speed and your altitude, without the aid of computers, no matter what aircraft it is that you're flying. And if you can't do that with an aircraft, you probably shouldn't be flying it. So I want to go ahead and do that. That'll be a good exercise to perform.
Coming back one last time to the Ukrainian crash. The pilot, towards the end of his prison term, he did a short phone interview, and he said that from the mission briefing, it was obvious that the flight area parameters we were given significantly exceeded the safe margin of separation from spectators. What happened was the fault of the organizers. Planes must not fly over spectators. During the show, I had to make several advanced maneuvers in a few minutes. During the half barrel, I noticed decreased thrust of both engines and the airspeed fell, but the cause remains unknown. Ground control ordered us to continue the flight. During the last maneuver, an oblique loop with a turn, the plane became uncontrollable. During the trial, they said it was caused by pilot error due to inexperience, even though I have 27 years in the cockpit with over 2,000 hours flying time. I was a member of the Ukrainian Falcons. To the last, I struggled to lift the plane. But the co-pilot hit the catapult, which was triggering the ejection, and we too ejected with our seats. So that's pretty interesting.
Okay. Well, nonetheless.
How does the thrust of both engines decrease during half barrel?
I have no idea, but we're not about to find that out.
That doesn't make much sense.
I have no idea, but we're not about to find that out.
Maybe you should try it one day.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Okay, we've dipped below 18,000 feet, which is our transition altitude. I've switched from standard to local pressure there, so altimeter is pretty much check. Now we've just got our speed brakes, landing gear, and flaps. And what I like to do is I like to keep the speed brakes out, just like that. There we go. We'll keep the speed brakes armed for the time being. Wait, there you go. Keep the speed brakes armed. But as we need to, we'll adjust that, and yeah. Let's see how this goes. Let us see how this goes. Where we are slowing down. That's good. That's good. We need to slow down. Before we dip below 10,000 feet, we need to slow down here to 250 knots. Okay, great. Fantastic. Now, I have no idea exactly where the airport is at this point. I think it's somewhere here, so it's technically directly in front of us, off to the right slightly, and that should be where the airport is. But I can't really see anything at the moment. Can't make it out in this. Perhaps if I go a little bit forward. No, that didn't do it. I didn't do it. Yeah, somewhere ahead of us is the airport. It should be somewhere here. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, so there's the airport right there. That is supposed to be the airport. And that should be dead ahead of us somewhere. I can't really see it, but as we come into land into Toronto, as you can see, very good, clear, almost, well, not clear skies, but you get my point. Good weather, not too difficult, good visibility, so it shouldn't be an issue. Should not be an issue. So we're not turning right here, just to be clear. That is our missed approach procedure. We're actually heading this way. Then we're gonna come back in and land there. Brilliant. 250 knots, 10,000 feet. That is looking good. 10,000 feet is coming up, so I might as well turn on my landing lights, which are on right now, as we dip below 10,000. Okay, looking good here. Looking good. Not too bad. Let's see if we can spot the airport. But before we do, let me just quickly take a look at the cabin views there. Okay, nice and bright and clear. Let's see, can we see the airport anywhere near us? Okay, the airport isn't too far away at all now. The airport is coming up here, which means it's like 15 nautical miles away from us. We should be able to see 15 nautical miles in. And where is the airport? Where is it? Airport, where are you? I believe that's, where is Toronto? None of the buildings in Toronto have even been drawn in yet. This is just terrible. Where is, there, that should be the airport. If I'm not mistaken, that is the airport, isn't it? That, ladies and gentlemen, should be the airport. Yep, it is. It's pretty much the airport. Just double confirm. Yeah, it is the airport. It is the airport.
I have some interesting news regarding Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Okay.
New interesting stuff popping up. So the Dassault Alpha Jet just got released yesterday.
Dassault Alpha Jet. I have no idea what that is. I've never heard of it in my life before. I gotta go check that out. I don't know what it is.
Dassault is a French company, right? Which also does the Mirage, if I'm not wrong.
I know that Dassault is a French, mostly military stuff.
It makes the Mirage.
But I don't know about this Alpha, whatever jet you're talking about. I'm not aware of that one, so that is something that I'm gonna have to have a look at. I don't know about it. I don't know about it.
Flight Sim Expo is also coming up on June 27th till 29th.
What do you mean Flight Sim Expo? What do you mean Flight Sim Expo is coming up?
So it's like an exhibition for flight sim.
Oh, okay, right. Flight Sim Expo, sorry, I didn't register that. My head did not register that. Okay. Where is it this time again? Completely forgotten.
It's on Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, okay. It's on Rhode Island, okay. Yeah. Interesting, I wasn't expecting it to be on Rhode Island, but interesting. Anyway, let's see here. As we come into, okay, I don't know. Is my volume, can you check if my volume is fine? Am I sounding all right? Let's drop our flaps here. Let's drop our flaps to position 1, perhaps to position 5 here. Oh, look at that. We've got Toronto, if I'm not mistaken, underneath us, and that's the other airport in Toronto. I believe that's City Centre Airport, if I'm not completely mistaken. That's Toronto City Centre, if I'm not fully mistaken. But it is a handcrafted airport in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So we could be checking that out at some point. But there is the city of Toronto underneath us. Terrible texture loading, as usual. So yeah. There we go. We're flying almost directly over the airport here. We're flying directly over Pearson International. I believe is the Toronto airport. I believe that's what it's called. So yes, what do you want to ask me? Go ahead, Benny.
So, a lot of flight sim streamers nowadays are picking up on the career mode. What do you feel about it?
I think it's Microsoft's attempt to gamify the Microsoft Flight Simulator to make more money. and get people to buy
I
it and
understand
play
that
it like a
completely,
game.
and I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
My question is, would you be trying it out on the channel?
I'm not sure. I'm double-minded about it. At the same time, I have the Aviators edition. I paid for it. I have never once opened career mode. It's fresh, untouched. So I could.
But do you know what it is?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I know what it is. I know how it works. I've watched a few videos on it. But
All right.
it's completely untouched, and I could probably at some point, look into making a few streams with it or something. But I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it. The whole point of a flight sim is you can do whatever you want, wherever you want, and just fly what you want, the way you want it. Career mode, kind of, I mean, at least
But
if
that
you...
would be a good series, don't you think?
I mean, I guess so. I'm willing to give it a shot. So we could try that, because especially since I've never tried it, I could try it on Livestream for the first time. That's pretty cool. Could see how far along we get. See, I like stuff like the Sky Ops thing that Say Intentions has now. That is really cool. But career mode is a bit too restrictive for my taste. It doesn't have... If it was a bit more... If it was a bit more customizable and adjustable, then maybe I would have been more excited about it, basically. But it's a little too rigid.
What's the SkyOps thing you're talking about?
You can do various missions, almost. You can do various missions using Say Intentions, which is AI powered. So it gives you like so many different combinations possible with like nearly any aircraft, I believe, and wherever in the world. If I'm not completely mistaken, I don't know much about it because obviously I don't have Say Intentions. So but nonetheless, that is something that's very, very interesting.
All right.
That's very, very interesting. But not the career mode is a little bit restrictive, but I'm willing to check it out. And it would be fun in a bit, I guess, to do a bit of missions flying, right? Let's find out. Let's find out.
That'd be something new. Also, the MSFS 2024 just released the experimental version of the iFly 737 MAX 8 5 days ago.
Who released that?
iFly 737 MAX 8. The experimental version was released on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
But I don't deal with experimental stuff. I mean, it's interesting as a piece of news, I guess. But I do not mess around with betas or any of those early access or beta releases. I mean, unless I'm testing them out just to see what's coming in store, I would never use it as a daily driver because then there's no point of doing that. So
yeah,
no point of doing that. I don't know, man. Just my opinion. I don't like the way how the simulator is run at the moment. You've got so many pre-releases and releases of releases and updates and this and that is just too much. I feel like it's unnecessary. That's my personal opinion. I definitely feel like it's all just too much noise, all for very little change. Too much noise and too little changing. So I don't like that. I really don't. So I don't really pay attention to the pre-releases and the betas, but unless I'm testing something out, that's a different story. Otherwise, I wouldn't mess with it. So I don't know. A lot of people fly the iFly though, so that could be relevant for a lot of people. Maybe somebody watching it would like to test that out. But personally, couldn't give a toss. I don't know why, but it's just what it is. It's just what it is. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the update on the Asobo 737, which will make it a little more stable and easier to fly. Because right now it's all over the place. It's just such a mess to fly. So, at least for me, it's very hard to control and stuff. So, hopefully that will happen. I'm not too sure. Anyway, let's see. Okay, 4,900 feet, 3,000. We're pretty much ready now. We could turn into Bethany if we wanted to. But I'm gonna let it go out just a little bit more, maybe out towards Mevpo before I make my turn, because we got vectors here. So I'm just gonna push up Bethany here. Okay, so okay, yeah, we can go directly now. There we go. Okay, after Mevpo we'll just turn in towards that. Brilliant. That isn't too bad. That isn't too bad. I really enjoy the 777. I believe Boeing peaked with the 777. We are looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Speed still out at 200 something. So I'm not gonna drop my flaps any further here. Getting a little bit of a bumpiness because we got crosswind here, huh? 24 knot crosswind. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
About to make our turn. There we go. Swooping turn, ladies and gentlemen. Very nice. That is a gorgeous aircraft. You cannot deny the beauty of this thing. Absolutely gorgeous aircraft. Stunning. She is gorgeous. There we go. Turning around to land here. Looking fantastic.
Traffic. Traffic.
Oh, traffic. Traffic. Where is traffic? Oh, there it is. There's the traffic. There's somebody something rather steeply there. Whoa. Mr. Traffic, we seem to be... There's the traffic right there. Jet. Wonder where that jet is going to, because, buddy, where are you landing? Is there something near here that to land at, that this jet is going towards? Is that jet? Oh, okay, it's flattened its descent out right there. I assume we're going to the same airport now. I shall race ya. I don't know, he seems pretty quick. Yep, we're gonna lose that race for sure. We're gonna lose that race for sure. Continuing our descent here. There we go. There's our. Yeah, we're losing that one. We're losing that one.
Which aircraft is that? The idea?
I think it's a 737 right there.
Why is it so low? Is my question though.
I mean, it's FSLTL traffic. Come on.
Traffic. Traffic.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, we're still descending here. That's great. So yeah, we've got some time before we need to. There it is. It's definitely a 737. I believe it's a WestJet. Yep, I knew it was a WestJet. There it is. 737 WestJet. Going into land, I believe. But Buddy has decided to go on a glide slope that is very, very low. There we go. Traffic in sight.
Zooming too.
He is indeed. Okay, so I'm going to be attempting a landing here. See how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Obviously, we're going to be landing in manually. We'll be landing in manually. Let's see. Should we switch yet to? Okay, let me just turn on ILS. Approach mode on. Localizer glide slope. There we go. We're waiting to catch them, but for now we are still on. Obviously, we still have one more turn to make before that can happen. So there we go. There it is. There it is. Let's make that turn. Okay, the speed needs to start dropping. At least it needs to give us control here. Where did that WestJet go? It zoomed past us. I don't know where it is. Is it that?
I believe it is.
Wait, it is that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There he is. I wonder which runway he's gonna gun for. Where are we landing? We're landing on the left runway, 15 left. He's gonna land on 15 right, perhaps? I hope so. Hope he's not going for the same runway as we are. Okay. our speed should begin dropping momentarily here. And we should also get control of the speeds momentarily. We'll set it to 138 or 140 as I like to. There we go. Speed is dropping right now. Brilliant. Try and drop those flaps as soon as possible. There's the runway dead ahead of us. Don't know if you can see it. Let me go ahead and run Sky Dolly, shall I? Running Sky Dolly. Okay. So, anything else we need to talk about before I come into land here, Mr. Benny?
I mean, once we've landed, I can pull up a few facts about Toronto.
Sure. But for now, here we go. Drop in our flaps. Look at that. That is looking gorgeous. The level of detail really is astonishing, isn't it? We better drop our gear now. Yeah, there we go. I knew it. I knew we'd get the warning there. We're a little too... our flaps were too low for gear, so that's why we got that warning. I knew it. But anyway, here we go. Drop in gear. Looking absolutely lovely as we come into land. Looking good. Looking good. Have we caught the glide slope or the localizer? No, we have not. That is shocking. You know what? I'm gonna go by standard practices here and go localizer first. Go local. Oh god, localizer first, please. Hasn't caught the localizer? How is that? Okay, it's not working today. So I'm gonna take manual control here. I'm not gonna try and fiddle with this too much. Okay. My aircraft.
Vertical speed.
And
Best of luck with that.
yeah, I need the VNAV to disconnect though, so I don't know what to do.
Vertical speed. Adjust.
Yeah, I need control over this thing. There we go.
1,000.
Dropping flaps. This is gonna be a terrible landing, isn't it? Unless I'm careful, it's going to be a terrible landing. But let's see how it
I
goes.
always hope for the best.
Sink rate.
Sync rate warnings.
500. Sink rate.
Why didn't the ILS catch?
Sink rate.
I have no idea. But anyway.
Sink rate. Pull up.
Okay, calm down, mate. I got it. I got it. I got it. Calm down. Got it. Good lord. It's still a little too fast for my liking.
50.
Okay.
30. 20. 10.
There we go. Reverse engaged. Speed brake at 3, right? Yeah, there we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Toronto. And for some reason, our glide slope and our localizer did not catch, and I should have picked that up a little sooner than I did, but nonetheless, not too bad. Welcome to Toronto. Let's take this so-called high-speed exit here. And remember, I gotta park the entire aircraft in before I do anything here, shall I? Okay, technically speaking, I should have had my runway turn-off lights on, but that's okay. Taxi lights on. We should turn these off. Now, normally I wouldn't do this right now because I need to do the landing replay, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. Okay, there we go. Flaps fully up, please. Thank you. Oh God, did I just do that? Yeah, I did. My bad. My bad, ladies and gentlemen. That is entirely my fault. Wrong button press. Sorry. Okay, we need to do the speed brakes in here. There we go. We can find ourselves a little parking that we like. And yeah, there you go. There we go. Welcome to Toronto. So I guess I'll park right ahead. How about that? If I can fit in it. Will I be able to fit in that? I don't think so. I think we're at the wrong terminal, aren't we? This is not gonna be this is not gonna be pretty. This is not gonna be pretty. You know what? I have an idea. Let's just turn around. Let's turn this way. And let's find ourselves a larger parking, shall we? Let's
I believe that's the other way.
I'm not entirely sure where the large parkings are, if I'm being honest. Not entirely sure where they are. We might have to make do here. We might have to make do. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna turn it in here. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn it in here. Hopefully we fit without bashing into that thing. The WestJet. Oh, would you look at that? It's another sub. Okay, there is no way we're gonna fit in here, is it? No, we're way too large for this gate. Okay, I have an idea. We're just gonna turn our aircraft around and gonna say whoopsie. Don't mind me. Just got ourselves into a place we shouldn't have been in. Oh, for the love of God. Shush, thank you very much. I'm not trying to take off, I'm just trying to taxi this thing a little quicker. Okay. Where do I put myself? Where can I put myself? I could have just put myself right here, couldn't I? Okay, I know. I'll take this one. Let's see if it's possible. Let us see if it is possible for us to turn ourselves in here. How about that? Let's take this one. There we go. Brilliant. There we go. We're just gonna keep it here for today. Perfect. We're just gonna keep it in here today. Pretty sure we have no business being here, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
All right, we did get a new follower on Twitch.
Oh, well, hello there and welcome and thank you for the follow, mate. Thank you for the follow. Thank you very, very, very much. So there we go. I'm just making sure that the parking brake is engaged and not a terrible parking at all, although it's the wrong gate. Doesn't matter. Let me see if anyone has said anything on Twitch. No, nothing. But yeah, we did get a new follow. So thank you very much for the follow. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Let's go to Sky Dolly here and take our landing replay for the day, which let's see how terrible it was or how good it was. Who knows? Who knows, right? Who knows?
It was pretty good today, I believe.
Okay, let's find
It
out.
looked pretty good.
Rewind. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got a bunch of got a weird rewind here today because of the turning around that we did, because we couldn't fit in any of these gates. I should have done my research on that a little earlier before we flew in so confidently into the airport. But anyway, there's an Emirates one. Oh, look at that. There's an Emirates A380 in the distance. Really nice. Anyway, let's check it out. Let's check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check out how our landing went. Okay, right about here, we shall press play. So I took manual control right about here. A little late, to be honest. Dipping that nose down. Let's see how it went. Let us see how it went. Remember this. Okay, a little bit of a floater, I suppose, from the looks of it. Not really, not too terrible at all. Okay. Nice and easy. There we go. Nice and easy. A little hard on the nose gear there, but nothing too bad. Nothing too bad. Well, that was pretty cool. Actually pretty cool. Let's take a look at the landing replay from another view, shall we? Why don't we try the landing gear now? Rewind that. Rewind that, go ahead, and let's try that. Let's try it from there, shall we? Okay.
That was pretty smooth.
That was pretty smooth, not too bad at all. So yeah, okay, great. Now we shall have a couple more looks at it rather. Perhaps from this view first. With the airport and everything, let's have a look at that, shall we? Let us have a look at that. Okay. Okay. Okay, scenery not looking the worst I've seen, so that is pretty good. That is pretty good. Let's have a look. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. That was really fun, wasn't it? Let's try one more replay from the other side of the cabin, but that was really fun. That was really fun. Real nice. Do you have scenery? Oh, KJVR has just asked me, do you have scenery? In Toronto, no. I don't have any scenery installed for Toronto. There's a PIA right there. It is all default. What you're looking at is the default scenery for Toronto. Nothing additional. Okay? And it's not handcrafted in the simulator either. It's just a default airport, so there you go, mate. I'll see if I can find some for Toronto. Might be a nice place to have a bit of scenery. Okay, last landing replay here. Just taking a look at our landing. Here we go. Oh, that was smooth. That was real nice, real smooth. Very, very beautiful wing flex right there. I love the wing flex on the 777. Great. Beautiful aircrafts off to a right as well, huh? Real nice. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that landing. Let's now go ahead and fast forward back to our parking where we shall shut down our aircraft and then we'll take a quick look around, and that's pretty much it for today. So let's fast forward that. Back to our little loopity-loop there before we finally decide to taxi in and park ourselves right here. There we go, flaps up, ladies and gentlemen. Looking good. Looking good. There we go. Perfect. Let's get into our cockpit here. Brake temperatures and all that stuff as usual from the this is from the replay. Just making that very, very clear there. Let's go to ground connections. Let me set the chocks there. Request ground power, just because we don't have our APU running, so that's why. Let's shut down our engines right away. There we go. Oh, we're blocked on either side there, but yeah, I think there we go. Engines shut down. Engines shut down. We did all of this, so I'm just gonna Checklist override, normal, please. Oh, we're having a little bit of an issue here. Okay, Benny, you still with us?
Yep, I'm right here.
Parking brake is on already, so I don't know why it's not recognizing it. But it is on. Come on, mate. There you go, parking brake is on. Okay, it's not recognizing it. Hydraulic panel, fuel pumps off and all that stuff. Okay, fine. Alright, let's request deboarding from GSX. Let's see if GSX can even deboard accurately here. I don't think it will. Oh, good lord, look at that. Loading menu forever. Come on, GSX. Why is GSX giving me so many issues? You know, the one of the things I hate about GSX, it has a million updates. And if you don't update it, this happens. I'm just going to leave this. I'm just going to leave this. We're going to turn off that. We're going to turn that off. We're going to turn off that. Okay, sorry about that. We're going to disarm that. Leave that completely off. Thank you very much. We're going to turn those off. We're going to turn that off. We're going to turn that off as well. What else do we got? What else do we got? We got taxi lights that needs to go off. Strobe lights need to go off. Those already off. Beacon lights off. Nav lights remain on. And these are on, off. They're off. Okay. Do we have anything else that we need to do up here? I don't think so. I believe everything else is pretty much set back to the way it should be. Wipers are off. Looking good. Everything else is stowed correctly here. And yeah, TCAS can come off as well. Huh? We don't want TCAS here. We don't want TCAS. And what else? I think that's pretty much it. I know what I'm going to do. Just to simulate something. I'm just going to request the jetway here. And I'm going to... yeah. Okay, the jetway request is not working properly, I guess. Okay, so unfortunately... oh, there it is. There it is. Now it's working, I think. Is it going to work? Okay, there we go. We got that connected up. Okay, that's not exactly what I was hoping for, but okay. I'm gonna try with GSX one last time to see if it's going to let us, if the menu is even gonna load here, and it isn't. Let me try restart the engine one last time. Restarting GSX, ladies and gentlemen. Restarting GSX. Hello, Mr. GSX. There we go. Restarting. Let's see if GSX works once I restart it. If it does, then we can have some... come on. Oh, for the love of God. What do you mean? What do you mean? It was literally telling me it was fine a second ago, and now it's saying it's not fine. Anyway, whatever. We got our aircraft shut down, and we're going to assume that we deboarded it. What else can we do here? But here we go. We go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. GSX continues to be a problem. I need to update it again. And I hope this aircraft also comes to work with GSX a little better, because I'm having issues here. But apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that lovely little flight into Toronto Pearson with our beautiful, beautiful aircraft, which is still having some teething issues into 2024, if I'm being completely honest. And here it is, a default Pearson International Airport. We've got no scenery. It's not handcrafted either. This is just the default Pearson International in Toronto, which doesn't look...
it actually looks pretty good.
I mean, it's not too terrible, but this is pretty much what all default airports look like, I guess. But yeah,
I've seen much worse.
Yeah, true. There are much worse than this. But as you can tell, the runway markings aren't the greatest at all. The airport markings are absolutely horrendous. Like, it's pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, X-Plane 12, if you compare the default airports, is so much better. Anyway. Runway doesn't look terrible, though. Runway doesn't look terrible, so that's something. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's flight there into lovely city of Toronto. So yeah, if you did, thank you so much for everyone who chimed in. KJVR, thank you. I think it's the first time I'm seeing you in chat. So thank you so much, both for your subscription earlier on and for chiming into the chat. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. Dmoney667, I believe, give me a follow, so thank you for that. And yeah, thank you to everyone else who subscribed. Thank you for anybody who watched. Thank you once again, Mr. Anas, for being in the chat as usual. And thank you, Benny, for being on today's live stream. And yeah, hope you have a good one. And let's call it a day here today. So yeah.
No problem. Always a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me.
Cheers, mate. See ya.
See you.